After clearing RBI examination, there are certain unseen challenges as well as certain rewards that we are normally not aware about. I want to tell you about these challenges and these potential rewards in advance, जिससे कि आपको पता हो कि यार मेरी जिंदगी कैसी होने वाली है once I clear this examination. This does not mean that you keep thinking about these challenges and rewards and stop preparing altogether. But as a student, I think it's a right to know and to understand, have clarity about exactly what is it that we are getting into. क्योंकि तुम्हें अपने next 30 years, 40 years इस जिंदगी में निकालना है, इस नौकरी में निकालना है. Whether you're able to get a sense of purpose, understanding, connection with the work that you're going to do will become more clear once you have an idea about these challenges and these rewards. तो कुछ unseen challenges के बारे में डिस्कस करना चाहूंगा मैं. I would also want to talk about certain rewards that you would get after clearing the examination. I would want to focus upon the long-term rewards and not the short-lived short-term rewards. And I take those short-term rewards as challenges because they take you away from the real work that you should be doing, that we all should be working towards in our careers. Start करते हैं. सबसे पहला myth जो आपके as soon as you start working, something that you will face and you will feel is that मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है कि मेरे करियर में plateau आ गया. I've got selected, I've started working as grade B officer, but for the next 5 years, 7 years, I'm stuck here. I'm not getting promotions, my pay grade is not increasing, life is very similar all throughout these 5 to 7 years. तो ऐसी फीलिंग आती है और ऐसा कुछ विजुअलाइजेशन आता है कि यार सिलेक्शन के बाद I've hit a roadblock, I've hit a plateau, I'm not growing. But the reality is different. The reality is that there is a good enough progress that you don't see because it is clouded for you. और आपको ऐसा लगता है कि यार it doesn't exist, आपको ऐसा लगता है there is only a plateau. But beyond that plateau, there is always a mountain of progress. If you want to actually climb this mountain and stay away or look beyond the clouds, then you have to work towards it. आप expect नहीं कर सकते कि मैं बस मेरी नौकरी लग गई, अब मैं काम कर रहा हूं और अब मैं ऊपर चढ़ता जाऊंगा. नहीं. If you actually want to grow, want to look beyond these clouds, then you have to work towards it. आपको कुछ एडिशनल चीजें करनी पड़ेंगी and I would want to be talking about that as well. वो भी एक चैलेंज की तरह लेना जरूरी है. It's a positive challenge. So this is the first thing. एक मिथ है और बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स यूट्यूब पे भी बोलते रहते हैं यार ग्रेड बी ऑफिसर्स का प्रमोशन काफी स्लो है. स्लो नहीं है. दे वांट टू गिव यू टाइम टू लर्न इन दोस 5 years so that when you grow further, when you climb up the ladder of your career in RBI as an organization, you're able to handle the pressure, you're able to handle the tasks that are given to you, you're able to lead and not just follow. इसीलिए आपको 5 साल 7 साल का टाइम दिया जाता है. In that time period you have to use that time period to learn more. Okay, so this is the myth that there is a plateau, and the reality is that there is growth, but often not visible to us, to our naked eye, because we are all cluttered by so many other things out there. Okay, let's come to the next one. A major challenge that you will face after clearing the examination is that you will, or in fact even now, you feel that there is going to be glamour, there's going to be fame, but all of that will be short-lived. आएगा और बहुत जल्दी चला जाएगा. So if that is the reason behind preparing for this examination, you will feel very dissatisfied very soon after clearing it. अभी ग्लैमर में, फेम में क्या क्या आता है जो काफी शॉर्ट लिव्ड है. इंटरव्यूज, मैंने आपका इंटरव्यू लिया, किसी और टीचर ने आपका इंटरव्यू लिया, आपको बड़ा अच्छा लगता है कि यार हम फ्लाइट से आ रहे हैं, कोई गिफ्ट मिल रहा है, जा रहे हैं, बड़ा अच्छा ट्रीटमेंट है, बट ऑल ऑफ दैट इज शॉर्ट लिव्ड. दैट इज व्हाई व्हेन स्टूडेंट्स कम हियर, I like to talk about their future. I like to talk about their achievements so far. I like to take the conversation away from this success only and take it towards bigger version of life, bigger vision for life as well. Okay, your relatives and friends will be very proud of you, and that is, there's nothing wrong in that. But कई बार वो cloud 9 पे ले जाते हैं and then you fall from it and then you realize कि यार ये सब fake था या फिर काफी short lived था, because their pride for you will be very short-lived. After a while, you're just like any other human being, and that's how it should be, because you're not different than others out there. But इसकी वजह से हमें काफी शॉक लगता है. Once you've cleared the examination, the glamour and the fame goes away very fast. There is often a discussion of marriage. I've heard a lot of students talk about it, think about it, even before clearing the examination, but that is again very short-lived. because marriage as a whole is when two people decide to live together for the entirety of their lives, and it should not be based upon a job, it should not be based upon your career. If it is, there's something wrong. And yes, proud friends, similar to relatives. Uh, in fact, they should be proud, but if they are behaving any differently, then there's something wrong in the relationship as friends. The reality is that once you clear, you will have to put in the hard work, you will have to work, because as I said, there is a plateau of 4, 5, 7 years, but beyond that plateau, there is also a mountain to climb. And if you want to do that, you have to do these things. You have to work in the organization. You cannot just sit there and expect कि आपका promotion होता रहेगा, आपके लिए growth अपने आप आती रहेगी. That doesn't happen, especially in today's environment where competition is everywhere. So learning new things, whether it is learning new things, moving to a new city, adjusting to new kinds of people, their different kinds of thoughts, their different cultures, handling a responsible job, being responsible, taking the responsibility for the work that you are doing and your juniors are doing, whether it is thinking about higher studies for progress, because people, students who clear the examination but do not go for higher studies stagnate over time. I've seen that happen. But students who keep learning in the form of better organizations, better degrees, better institutions, academic institutions, they are the ones who keep growing because they keep learning something new. And their new learnings come to the organization, enrich the organization, and then the organization rewards them by saying कि हाँ आप कुछ बाहर से सीख के आए, आपने यहाँ इम्प्लीमेंट किया, अच्छा लगा, आपको हम रिवॉर्ड देते हैं. Sometimes it is very tangible in the form of a promotion, sometimes it is intangible in the form of just pride amongst those people and belief कि आप कुछ कर सकते हो. He's a young chap, he's doing very well, he's learning new things, he's applying it in the organization, he's committed, I will remember his name. That's how your seniors are going to think and remember you. And there is a very busy schedule, especially before the budget and survey. वहाँ पे आपको 1 महीना 2 महीना काफ़ी heavy work करना पड़ेगा. So it's not all hunky dory. After you clear the examination, you have to keep working and work in different dimensions. Whether it is following up with the busy schedule of budget and survey, whether it is thinking about higher studies and learning more and not stagnating, or whether it is taking your job seriously and the people around you very seriously, so that you are able to learn from them and they are also able to learn from you. ऐसा नहीं कि दोनों के बीच में कोई hostility है, वो मेंटेन करना बड़ा जरूरी है, because organizations are mainly about people and how they live together, work together in those 10-12 hours. Okay, let's come to the third one, doing versus learning. हमें ऐसा लगता है कि एक बार सिलेक्शन हो गया तो we'll just have to do a basic job जो हम आज तक करते आए हैं और उसी में काम चल जाएगा, कि मेरे जो असाइनमेंट्स हैं वो मैं कर लूंगा, फिर चिल करूंगा और जो भी मुझे बोला जाएगा I'll just implement it and then go back home. That is a part of the job. That is not everything. Doing is important, execution is important, but simultaneously along with execution comes learning. And because RBI and these kind of various other organizations are research based organizations, learning organizations, where you have to keep learning new things, you have to be knowledge oriented. तो अगर ये orientation भूल जाओगे, then you will be stuck at the middle level, you will not be able to rise up to the top level. तो ये बहुत बड़ा चैलेंज होता है बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स के लिए, बिकॉज देर एबल टू चेंज गियर्स. इट्स लाइक ड्राइविंग अ कार, आप सेकंड गियर में हो, थर्ड गियर में चले गए, अब फोर्थ में जाना नहीं आता. फोर्थ में जाने के लिए यू हैव टू स्टॉप डूइंग मोर, यू हैव टू स्टार्ट लर्निंग मोर, है ना, वेयर यू रियलाइज की the economy is evolving so fast. Every day new challenges are being faced by global and Indian economy. As people working in the most premier autonomous institution, banking institution of our country, you also have to evolve. और वो evolution आपके अंदर से आएगा तभी वो organization में आएगा, तभी वो economy में दिखेगा. That's understanding and that realization is very important. और उसको लाने के लिए आपको काफ़ी पढ़ना पड़ता है, काफ़ी ज़्यादा आपको मेहनत करनी पड़ती है, खाली बात करने से, डिस्कस करने से वो नहीं होगा. Thinking, learning and making changes. This also becomes a very important part of learning, the process of learning versus the process of doing. क्यों लीडर्स होते हैं? लीडर्स इसलिए होते हैं या इसलिए उनकी वैल्यू ज़्यादा होती है ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में, बिकॉज दे आर डूइंग, दे आर गेटिंग थिंग्स डन एंड एट द सेम टाइम दे आर ऑल्सो गेटिंग रेडी फॉर चेंजेस. ऑन द अदर हैंड जो भी एग्जीक्यूट कर रहा है मिडिल लेवल पे, लोअर लेवल पे, दे आर फोकस्ड ऑन डूइंग. तो आप क्योंकि मल्टीटास्क करने की कोशिश कर रहे हो और उस मल्टीटास्क करने में ज़्यादा एफर्ट लगता है, ज़्यादा एंजाइटी होती है, तो ऑटोमेटिकली रिवॉर्ड्स भी ज़्यादा होंगे. So this is one of the major challenges that you are going to face down the line once you start working in RBI or any other premier organization. And if you're not able to change gears, then you will face problems. So you have to be focused on doing, but at the same time, you also have to find focus on learning new things. Okay. Diplomacy, it's going to be a major challenge. I see that a lot among students right now. It's not your fault. 2021, 24, 25, I don't expect कि आपको diplomacy आती हो, but वो सीखना जरूरी है, because you'll be dealing with red tapeism, you'll be dealing with bureaucrats. Even inside the organization, there's often a lot of red tapeism. It's important that you learn this diplomacy to get the work done that is required to be done, because there will be more people who don't want you to do that than people who want you to do it. But you have to make sure that you get it done, but at the same time you don't turn hostile towards these people who don't want you to get it done. बहुत सारे लोग होंगे जो चाहेंगे नहीं हो ये काम, आपको करना है, but at the same time वो hostile नहीं होने चाहिए. So that is diplomacy. That is how you have to influence them in a certain way that they don't dislike you, but at the same time the work is done. Okay. There is a new definition of performance that you will have to learn as you go down the road in RBI or any other premier institution, specifically RBI. Jahan pe performance is not just about sitting and working on your desk, it is also about getting things done. It's also about influencing other people, inspiring other people to make sure that they are also able to understand what you're trying to do. They support and believe in you, and they're like, okay, we will support you, whatever you do, we are here for you. And so you also take them into your fold and make sure कि आप अकेले नहीं कर रहे हो वो काम, सारे लोग मिल के कर रहे हैं. आप लोगों को इंस्पायर कर पा रहे हो, इन्फ्लुएंस कर पा रहे हो, उनको समझा पा रहे हो आप जो करना चाहते हो. पहले तो सोचना कि मुझे करना क्या है और फिर लोगों के थ्रू उसको एग्जीक्यूट करवाना. That is a changed definition of performance that you will have to learn, and this is something that is actually very inspiring for a lot of people कि हमें डिप्लोमेसी सीखने को मिलेगी. We will understand how actually the word works. But बहुत लोगों को एंजाइटी भी होती है इससे, because you have to move out of your comfort zone. But ये ज़रूरी है. If you want to grow in the organization, then you have to learn diplomacy in a good sense, not in a bad sense. You're not influencing them to make sure that they do what they don't want to do, but to inspire them and show them a bigger vision inside RBI. Okay. There will be a lot of ethical dilemmas that you will have to face. कि मैं inflation बढ़ रहा है, should I increase my policy rates even further or not? That's a big ethical dilemma, because inflation hurts people on the ground really bad. तो बढ़ाऊं कि नहीं बढ़ाऊं? बढ़ाऊंगा तो growth कम होगी, then the government might not be happy. Or growth कम होगी, that also hurts people. So what do I do? So that's an ethical dilemma that a lot of people inside RBI are facing. You will also have to face, especially when you rise up to the top level. But उस ethical dilemma में काम करना भी एक skill है, एक नई art है. And the faster you learn it, the better it is going to be for you. Okay. Now let's talk about the rewards very briefly. क्या क्या rewards आपको इन सब challenges को face करने के बाद मिलेंगे? Number one, a sense of purpose. This is something that you will not find in a lot of other organizations. It rarely exists. मुझे एक sense of purpose मिलता है पढ़ाकर, आप लोगों से बात कर यूट्यूब पे डिस्कशंस करके, आपको कुछ फाइनेंस इकोनॉमी पढ़ा के मुझे एक बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग सेंस ऑफ पर्पस मिलता है. I can't replace that with anything else. I can't do anything else and be equally satisfied. The same happens when you work in organizations like RBI. आपको एक बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग सेंस ऑफ पर्पस मिलता है जो कि आप रिप्लेस नहीं कर सकते. You will not find it in a lot of other organizations. उसको चेरिश करना बहुत जरूरी है. That is a big reward that you're getting, because उस सेंस ऑफ पर्पस के साथ जीना बड़ा आसान होता है. It gives you a lot of satisfaction inside. The opportunities that you will get inside RBI आपको बहुत सारी organizations में नहीं मिलेगी. In fact, in major organizations in the country, you will not find such opportunities. ऐसी opportunities को जाने ना दें. Once you get in, that's a reward. But the thing is that just like the clouded mountain, here also these opportunities are often clouded. तो आपको ढूंढना है कि यार ये opportunities कहाँ हैं. Let me search for them. Let me find them. Let me then start using these or grabbing these opportunities one by one. ये बड़ा important reward है जो कि बहुत सारे students organization में जाने के बाद नहीं देख पाते हैं. Contribution to nation's economy, believe it or not, ये खाली कहने की बात नहीं है. What RBI does, what they do on the ground in terms of regulation, supervision, and various other policy and execution activities, it actually makes a big change in the way the economy functions. फिनटेक को ले लीजिए, P2P प्लेटफॉर्म्स को ले लीजिए, जो भी आरबीआई ने किया है, दैट इज डिफाइनिंग हाउ दीज सेक्टर्स आर मूविंग फॉरवर्ड। एक्चुअल में गांव-गांव में फाइनेंशियल इंक्लूजन हो रहा है कि नहीं हो रहा है, लोगों के हाथ में मोबाइल में पैसा आ रहा है, जा रहा है कि नहीं जा रहा है, ऑल ऑफ दैट इज ओनली पॉसिबल बिकॉज आरबीआई इज मेकिंग इट हैपन थ्रू इट्स पॉलिसीज। अदरवाइज वो कब का डिस्ट्रॉय भी हो सकता था या फिर साइबर अटैक्स के थ्रू खत्म भी हो सकता था, जो कि अभी भी बहुत होता है, बट आरबीआई मैनेजेस टू पुल इट ऑफ एवरी डे। तो ये जो आपका कंट्रीब्यूशन है नेशन की इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंट में, दैट इज समथिंग दैट यू विल नॉट फाइंड इन मेनी अदर ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस, इनफैक्ट नो अदर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन इन द कंट्री। तो ये बहुत बड़ा कंट्रीब्यूशन है आपका एंड बहुत बड़ा रिवॉर्ड है दैट यू आर गेटिंग आउट ऑफ द वर्क दैट यू आर डूइंग। And final is, it's a prestigious institution. It gives you immense pleasure and immense satisfaction and pride to be working in such an organization. कहीं भी जाओगे, किसी से भी बात करोगे, they will treat you with respect because they know that you have something in you. उनको पता है कि यार बंदे में थोड़ा दम तो है, बंदा यहाँ तक आया है, बात कर रहा है, काम कर रहा है आरबीआई के अंदर, so he knows what he is doing. They take you seriously and whatever you say is being heard. तो इसलिए कम बोलना भी जरूरी है सिलेक्शन होने के बाद, क्योंकि जो भी आप बोलोगे लोग सुनेंगे और लोग आपकी बातों को मानेंगे। तो सीरियसली रहिए, थोड़ा सा कम बोलिए, बट जो बोलिए वो सोच के बोलिए। दैट ऑल्सो बिकम्स इंपॉर्टेंट बिकॉज बिहाइंड यू देयर इज ऑलवेज द नेम ऑफ योर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन। सो दीज आर द रिवॉर्ड्स, दे कम आफ्टर अ लॉट ऑफ चैलेंजेस दैट यू आर अल्टीमेटली गोइंग टू फेस व्हेन यू स्टार्ट वर्किंग इन आरबीआई। आरबीआई में काम करने से पहले, वंस यू आर एन एस्पिरेंट, इट शुड बी वेरी क्लियर व्हाट आर यू गेटिंग इनटू, जिससे कि आपको एक सेंस ऑफ पर्पस अभी से मिलना शुरू हो जाए। अदरवाइज यू ऑफन फील लॉस्ट व्हेन यू आर डीमोटिवेटेड, व्हेन यू डोंट वांट टू स्टडी, व्हेन यू लो ऑन योर डिसिप्लिन। तो लगता है कि यार अब मैं ये सब क्यों कर रहा हूँ, क्यों इतनी मेहनत कर रहा हूँ। इन ऑर्डर टू गेट अहेड ऑफ ऑल ऑफ दैट, this video helps, this kind of discussion helps. I'm sure you learned something new from this small discussion on the unseen challenges that RBI Grade B officers face immediately when they enter the organization, and also after a while when they climb up the ladder in the organization, within the organization as well. If you have any doubts, you can put it down in the comment section below. I would love to read them and I would love to resolve your doubts through various other upcoming videos as well. You can reach out to my team through my website www.anujjindal.in if you don't know about it already. I'll see you very soon. Keep studying hard. All the best. Jai Hind.